What is going on, guys? It is JackUltraGamer here, and welcome to the first video of the brand new Crew Motorfest. I have not only gotten to play this game, but I have gameplay and footage to share with you guys, and this video is going to be kind of a back and forth of me commentating over the game and me having actual footage of me playing it. Now, the Crew Motorfest is the latest installment to the Crew franchise. It's been almost 5 years, actually, since we had the Crew 2 way back in 2018, so it's about time that Ubisoft Ivory Tower presents us a new game to their franchise, and there's a big switch up with this one. The premise of the previous two Crew games were that they took place with the entire United States map of mainland, and I have to announce that this game does not do that. This game actually takes place specifically on the island of Oahu, so we're still in the US, but we're not having all of the mainland to our access. We just have one detailed island. But I think this could be a cool idea because now, instead of a skewed down variant of all of US, now we have a more actual appropriately scaled island of Oahu, which will have a lot more detail and will probably be way better completed. The game features a bunch of brand new cars that you can't play in any other game, such as the Lamborghini Revuelto, and we'll get into that later in the video. And overall, the premise is kind of this giant festival that you have here in Hawaii. It is basically a combination of Forza Horizon meets Test Drive Unlimited, all combined together with the Crew. And if you've been a fan of arcade style games, I feel like you really can't complain. Now, the pathways to this game is divided into a bunch of different race playlist genres. You have JDM in kind of a Hawaiian Tokyo underground scene. You have off-roading. You have basically Formula 1 style cars. Then you could throw it back to vintage American or just vintage cars in general. And then we have an exclusive Lamborghini playlist only. So we're going to start out by diving into what basically looks like Fast and Furious and go check out some JDM cars. Immediately I'm noticing that this is vibrant. There's a lot going on right now, and I see what looks to be a Too Fast, Too Furious inspired R34 right up here leading the pack. Doesn't have the exact livery, but it looks, I mean, it's silver and blue. It's basically what they're trying to go for.
All the action, racing these Japanese drift masters, just awesome.
Ooh. Gotta get used to the handling. Now, I don't know what aero kit is on this Mark IV Supra, but I dig it. It's got a lot of retro futurism towards it, but oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the same map as some of the other stuff that we're about to experience, because we really look like we're in mini Tokyo. Now, if there's anything I had flashbacks to while playing that, it was Need for Speed. And we're just continuing to add on games that this game basically feels like a combination of. We have Horizon, we have Test Drive, and now we have Need for Speed. This is basically the best of all worlds here. But now we're going to transition to something that is entirely different world than where we are. And it's really going to show the diversity of this game on how the landscape completely transforms. Alright, switching over to some off-road territory now. We're in a brand new Bronco. I see the Hummer EV is up there. That's a cool new vehicle to have in a game. Oh, and then of course you know it's the Crew, because you got motorcycles involved as well.
Driving off-road gives you an opportunity to carve your own path, to explore the open expanse.
Ooh, I want to drive this Taco that's right here.
Playground.
That's sick.
Total freedom becomes your creed.
I like the transfer of feeling of floatiness that I get from now being in an off-roader from the firm Supra that we just got a taste of. Holy cow. We have a huge jump right here. Oh. Somehow survived that.
Quads, you're given every chance to go off the beaten path.
Yeah, I wonder how open world this map is, because just judging by this race alone, it seems like we have a lot of earthy off-road territory to explore and have free range to. Holy crap. So far, I would say that off-roading has actually been some of the most fun I've had in this game so far. Just the elevation changes that you have with the massive jumps and massive hills to finish off what I just did completely took me away. But we're shifting over to something that is way more planted to the ground and something I just straight up didn't expect out of this game, especially with the rise of Formula 1. I think it's something that a lot of racing fans are going to enjoy, and that is racing on track in this game. Let's check it out. All right, we're about to literally transfer directly into the most opposite of vehicle. Definitely don't feel floaty suspension now. We are locked on the ground. Look at that active arrow in our flaps. That is sick. Already taking the lead out here. We get to see our tire wear right up above. All right, slow down. Use all that active arrow. Oh, that's what that was. We had a little pit stop. All right, so we have restored tire wear.
There is no better feeling than triumphing with your team in what some consider the apex of motorsports.
All right, speaking of apex, I just took it and it got me into second place. So this game, like previous crew games, basically has what I always expected for open world games, and that is the option to go out on track or find a racetrack if you wanted to and race there. So we have an entire category dedicated to on-track racing with cars that I noticed with sneak peeks of Senna GTRs, the Lamborghini Asenza V12, and more. So I'm really excited to drive some of those planted race cars out here in the future. Next up, we're going to shift gears into a different playlist, which is going to be a lot more slow because it is vintage nostalgia racing. Okay, so now we're going to take things back a little bit. Now I can imagine this isn't probably going to be the most popular of genres that people will be driving through, but there's definitely going to be a crowd that'll appreciate it.
It's not just about the look or the nostalgia. It's how these things drive, how they feel, how they steer. It was quite a challenge, in the best way possible.
These things are surprisingly quick. Like, this actually doesn't feel that slow. Oh, this map makes me want to go back to Hawaii. Like, already just the essence of it is making me want to travel back there. Racing in the vintage cars, especially with the lighting, just really showcases the beauty in this map. I like how they really had more time to spend with specific details in Hawaii, and it really proves itself worth it because you get fully immersed into Hawaii's atmosphere, and it makes you miss Hawaii if you've ever vacationed there, or it makes you want to completely travel there if you haven't. Overall, these vintage cars were quicker than I thought, and I'm glad that they are in the game, but we're going to shift over to our last playlist, which I kind of had a feeling I knew what was coming for this one. Is it Lamborghini?
Lamborghini. A playlist to truly experience the iconic, the trailblazing. I'm running out of adjectives here.
Oh, here we are. Behind the wheel, the brand new Revuelto. Oh my gosh, what a treat this is. I mean, this is breaking just for this car alone.
Logo, you knew what this playlist was going to be. Some of the most recognizable car designs in existence at your disposal.
No one's ever even heard real-life clips of what this car actually sounds like, and yet this is probably our first preview into it, based on whatever sound models that they had to do for the game. Oh, there it is, right there on the billboard. Holy crap. You just get a taste of how the motor is just that visible back there. There's no glass covering or plate covering up above. Man, this is a big car, too.
There's nothing quite like some of these cars. It's like a speed race through the story of Lamborghini. One of power and innovation.
Got chased down its freaking grandpa over here, the Aventador. Oh, man.
Riding the full roster of these legends was a rare privilege. A privilege Motorfest graciously gave me.
I do think it's totally funny how the crew locked in this deal with Lamborghini, and there's essentially Lamborghini marketing splurge like all over the place in this game. I mean, there's an entire race playlist dedicated to just Lamborghini, but you don't get that with any of the other cars, so their partnership is definitely not really hidden. But if that's what it takes for us to drive the brand new Lamborghini Revuelto in basically the only game that you can right now, then I'll take it because I am a big fan of that car. For some reason, the crew games always get the brand new cars first. I mean, we saw it with, I believe, the Bugatti Divo and just a bunch of other different concepts and crazy cool cars. They always somehow find their way of getting access to them earlier than all the others. Overall, after playing this game, the biggest factor that's going to make it feel different than the previous games is the fact that it has an entirely new map with an entirely new setting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to overlap from the previous ones, and there's only been so many new cars that have come out since, so I'm curious to see how much more new stuff they'll add into this. Physics-wise, it does feel very similar to the previous Crew, and it definitely feels improved, but of course this is an arcade racing style game, so the word simulation can't be your full expectation with this one. But I am curious to what we're going to be able to do once I have some friends hop in here. Let me know what you guys think about the game in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and with that, this is going to be JackUltraGamer signing it off.